Today, I'm going to be designing a nomadic character from my world, Project Exodus. Not only that, but we're going to see how one mood board changed my character from this to this. Let's jump right into it. Hey guys, CJ here. In today's video, we're going to be making and talking about mood boards and how they affect the process of character design. Before we start, I wanted to say that this video is the first part of the mini-series I'm doing talking about character design and how they affect world building. As a little disclaimer, I'm far from a professional character designer. This is just a documentation of how I notice mood boards leveling up my designs. So take what I say with that little grain of salt. Let's start this character design with a little summary of what their culture and lifestyle is. So, the Xiongnu are a group of nomads founded in northern Guoling. They work with Fang evangelists to assist in nomadic missionaries as disciples. The Xiongnu are heavily religious in primal branches of Ethoism. Ethoism is pretty much the broad religion that is in this world, and it is really widespread. So, the Xiongnu are heavily religious in primal branches of Ethoism. They practice beastism, the belief that ancestral spirits reside in the animals of the land. They believe that sacrificing these animals free the spirit, and wearing their hide serves as an act of protection from evil spirits. So pretty primal if you ask me, pretty brutal. And over here with the animal hide, I thought it would be cool to show a sign of hierarchy with the different animal hides that they wear. So it can be that the animal hides are placed on a spectrum to show a hierarchy within their civilization. But other than that, let's look at some more references and gather more references for these people. Here's a little sneak peek of my little Pinterest board where I put different pins into this board for the world of Exodus. So you might see some pictures that you have seen in other videos before, like this one for the world building video that I did of the Bengal people that I did not too long ago. So if you want to check it out, definitely check it out. I want these people's cultures to be inspired by Siberia, so that's a good starting point of designing this culture, which is obviously taking inspiration from the real life culture that they're inspired from. I really like this drawing. I think it's Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm not gonna lie. And I really like how thick the actual design is, how thick it is with the fur, so you can tell that it really keeps him warm. And I also really like this one. I think having the fur and having the more thick clothing here in the bottom and having it really hug tight, like skin tight around the neck area, really accentuates and emphasizes the face, and it really makes you focus on the face, which is really awesome because it provides such a clear silhouette on where to look at. So I'm definitely going to save that one because I think that's really cool and it's going to be something that I really want to have. So I looked a bit deeper into my Pinterest board where I have most of the photos that I have, and I saw this and I really like the hat. I think the hat is really fun with the big fur and the point at the top, so I'm definitely going to have that as a reference. I have an animal that I want to take reference from, the Siberian wolf. I have so many cultures that are mixed with animals, obviously for a specific reason, which I will get into that reason later on down the timeline, but that's just not a topic for right now. So these people are going to be mixed with a Siberian wolf, and since obviously wolves are predators, I wanted that to take part into these people's living style. This picture is really interesting because the shape of these silver little circular jewelry, and I think that'll be pretty cool to incorporate onto their design. You know, it would be really cool if they had like a bird, like maybe there's a rite of passage of connecting with that animal. All right, let's start putting them in. All right, crop it just a little bit. There we go. Yes, it's all coming together. It's all coming together. I understand the hype around Milano now. I used to be like, I don't know about it. I don't know what's all the hype about, but now I do. It's just seeing all the reference photos in one place is so interesting. Can I like zoom out? Oh my goodness, this makes it so much better. New image. Let's put this one in. Save. Boom chakalaka. Awesome. Okay, so I'm noticing a color scheme of red, white, and blue, which is so awesome to see it zoomed out. Ooh, that's a nice blue. Color pick. A muted red Awesome. There. That's good. And I'm also noticing a brown, so I think I'm going to put in a new color and get that brown color in here. Let me just add a couple notes in here, and then I can close it out so that I know what I'm going to do with the characters. Awesome. So I think I'm ready to start the character design. So this is the character design that I came up with the aid of those mood boards, and it was super fun to come up with this design and putting all the different aspects of the pictures that I really liked in those mood boards into this design, and it was super interesting to see it all come together. And I like this design. I think it's a strong character design, and I think it has an amazing silhouette that is very easy to read, with the bird and the beak and the tail poking out of her silhouette, showing that she is a wolf, and the ears being very prominent in her design. There are some things that I want to change. I can't really put my finger on it, but there are certain aspects of her design that I want to push more and make it more unique, because I feel like, yeah, it's a character design, but the way that I want to do this character design is that this person is a nomad, so I don't want it to just have elements of the design that is specific to this region. I want it to be more unique to the world that this person is in, because if this person is a nomad, then she should be collecting like fashion trends and different clothing types from all around the world, you know? So this is the design that I have for her now. It might change, but I just wanted to show you guys what I came up with the mood boards and how the mood boards affected my process of character design, because normally I wouldn't really use a mood board for a character design. I don't know why, but honestly, creating a mood board was super interesting to see, and coming up with the color palette was so easy to see them all laid out in front of me and see the colors that stayed consistent within the different pictures. So this is what I came up with, and I hope you guys like it. So yeah. So this mood board, it was honestly so interesting to see it all come together, because I've never really had like a mood board like this. I've only really had it like on a Pinterest, and it would just be references, so it was just one photo, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really have a board that is a compilation of all the different photos that I wanted. And honestly, looking at this was really easy for me to come up with a idea that incorporated all aspects of the pictures that I wanted to create one central design that resonates with all these different pictures. So that was really amazing, and it was also really easy to come up with a solid color palette to see the different colors that stay constant within each photo. So that was also really easy. So like, I'm gonna be so honest, there are so many pros to using a mood board. I really don't know why I didn't use a mood board before, but while I was even drawing the character, it was so amazing to look at the mood board to see what parts of the picture I can incorporate into my drawing to make it look more authentic and just bring up the design, like the detail in a higher level, but also like the style choices of some of these photos here, of like the actual painted pictures and illustrations that people created, and the style choices that they made, and how I can incorporate that into mine, and what I liked about it, and the different shape language that they incorporated into their design. So working with a mood board has been so inspiring and has been so amazing to see my ideas not only written but also visualized, and have that guide me into the actual design of the character and finding out different ways to incorporate their religion and their beliefs into their character design. So that was really amazing and really awesome to see. But what I wish I had while I was making these character designs was a mood board of the different design elements that I just like to see in general in character designs. And I was just saving pins in Pinterest about character designs and stuff like that, and just looking at them like, oh, I like this one, because there was something about it that I liked, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. Some of them I could, but some of them it was just something that I liked. But I put it all on this mood board, and I was like organizing them based off their visuals, and I put them into little groups, and then I was noticing patterns and different style choices that I really enjoy in people's art. So let's take a look at them. Before we continue with the video, I wanted to let you guys know that my commissions are now open. Simply email me at any time for questions or concerns regarding commission work. My email is cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com. That's cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com. You can also find my email in the description of this video and in my channel bio. I specialize in character design, thumbnails, portraits, stickers, concept art, and landscapes. The commission process is very quick and easy. Simply email me at cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com and I will get back to you with a couple questions and 2 easy to fill forms for clear communication. Obviously, there are some ground rules like no inappropriate artwork, USD only, and no refunds. But other than that, I would be elated to bring your ideas to life. Email me at cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com for a commission today. So here in the top, I organized these 3 main ones because these ones show what I'm talking about the most. And it says the 80-20 rule of 20% high detail and 80% breather room. I think that is just an amazing balance of detail and breather room in any character design. Weight anchor points follow this rule in order to highlight the areas with most detail. 20% heavy and 80% light. So what I'm talking about this is, let's look at this design of Sigma from Overwatch. You can see that the main anchor points is near his chest and his shoulders, and in this main anchor point is where the highest amount of detail is, so it naturally brings your focal points in that part of his design because that part of his design is related to his type of character the most. And now if we look at this character here, we can see that the weight anchor is near the middle of his body with his gauntlets, and the most detail is also in those gauntlets. And this artist also used color as a way to contrast because most of his design is muted out colors, but with this bright red and orange, it really highlights points of his design that show the most character and the most detail of his design. And having it the most heavy parts being in the gauntlets and the most detailed parts being in the gauntlets create an amazing balance of detail and breather room that really makes this character design really professional. This character design here has the main weight anchor point near the middle and lower part of her design, and you see that in the details as well. This one has a bit more detail than just 20% detail and 80% breather room, but it still follows that balance of having that be in your breather room with the upper half. But you can see the idea of what I had with these first 3 examples, and we're going to see how these main 3 examples carry through all the different character designs that I saved without me even knowing. It was like subconscious decision. But before we go into the other aspects of character design that I really like and how these weight anchor points and 80-20 rules apply to the other character designs, I wanted to show you this part that I really enjoy. In this example showing multiple different characters, I wanted to have it that the shape language is really clear and the silhouette is really easy to read. I always gravitate towards shape language and pushing the different shapes within the character design to make it more exaggerated and emphasized, and having that paired with a clear silhouette is super appealing to see in any character. So I wanted to put this photo in, like, even though it's not particularly the style that I want to go for, the clear shape language and the silhouette being so easy to read is something that is really inspiring and something that I want to put in my art as well. And the proportions of all these different characters is also something that is very inspiring to me and something that I definitely want to put into my character designs because proportions can really push the silhouette and just the overall energy of the character and make each character feel unique when they each have different proportions. Over here, it's kind of like its own separate category. This is a pretty unique category, but I just really love the idea of a super oversized flowy shirt combined with like form-fitting pants. I think it's so much fun and it's such a nice contrast between the different textures and between the different types of movement in a character that is really fun to see. And then you can also see how the main anchor point in this design is the top half, which is really highlighting the bust of the character. And over here, I really love like the half shirt kind of thing. I don't know why I find it so cool, but I just do. Like, you can see it. Like you can see it a lot in Hanzo from Overwatch and his character design, and you can see how the main weight anchor point is near the middle of his design, and the most detail is located near the belt and the sleeve, which is located around the middle of the design. And I really love how the boots that he has push up the weight of the pants so that it pushes the weight anchor point to the middle of the design, and I think that is such an awesome way to show that, to be honest. And I just put different examples of the detail focal point being in the middle of the design where the belt region is. Over here is like a little tribute to triangular shape design, because I really love triangular shape design and I love how dynamic it makes the characters feel. And in these character designs themselves, you see the main weight anchor point being in the top half of the character. Like in this character right here, you see how most of the detail is located on the upper half of the character. The contrast is located on the upper half with the white of the jacket, the black of the cybernetic arm, and the blue of the hair, and the really exaggerated triangular shapes being in the upper half, so it naturally draws your eyes to that jacket with the super jagged edges. In Moira, you really see those exaggerated triangular shapes in her design, and you also see the main weight anchor point being in the top half, like the bust area. But even though it's not as noticeable here, you have those contrast points with the 20% detail contrasting with the purple and the black and the orange and the pale skin of hers. It really is a focal point in her design. And then over here, Lifeweaver from Overwatch as well, you see where the main anchor point of his design, which is the flower shape on his back, and it really puts the attention to his face because, you know, that's his type of character and stuff like that. But the flower in his back also really pushes a super interesting silhouette that is also really interesting to see, and really makes his design super different from the other characters because his silhouette is so distinct. Now this section here is really interesting because it shows character designs without a strong weight distribution, and it's like most of these character designs are very slender, very slim, and it's not just like female character designs, it's also male plus female. Like this character here has a very slim design but also is very cool, and you can see that the main focal point is in his mask, which I wrote here. This design can stand out when a specific part of the character creates a striking silhouette with his spear, or highlights a specific part of the design, which also makes it really striking with his mask. So this slender character design works so well, and I really don't think it would have been able to deliver that same amount of impact if it had a big shape in his upper half or lower half. Slender character designs can be really appealing when they have an aspect of their design that flows naturally, and some examples that I have is Jinx and her ponytails. Jinx has a very slender design, and that does so well to highlight her ponytails, as that can provide so much movement within the character and can extend her movement so much more. And you can see that same thing with Gambit here. His actual suit is very form-fitting, but he has this very loose trench coat that is over top that can provide really interesting folds and shapes when he is in an action pose. Widowmaker has a very slender design, like she is literally just a bodysuit, right? But her ponytail sticking out so much gives her such a unique silhouette that if you were to shade her body completely in black and just see the silhouette that she creates, her ponytail would really identify her, and that ponytail having so much movement makes the character so much more interesting. So that's what I did for my mood board and character design. I think it's going to elevate my character design so much because there were so many things that I did not know I liked so much within a character design, and so many patterns that stayed consistent within my interest of different character designs, and seeing it all laid out here in this mood board made it so much clearer for me to pinpoint what to include in my character designs moving forward to push their personality and have it integrated into their design, and the different shape languages that I can use and the different weight anchor points to highlight the main focal point of their detail and design. I really hope this helped you you guys in creating your own characters, or if this was just entertaining and interesting to watch. But I really want to see how this affects my character design, and what a better example to do that than change and redo the character design that I have already with this new information in mind. So this is what I was able to come up with. I redrew the character with the character design mood board that I had, and I just really enjoy how this character came out. It was so much fun actually designing this character, having those character inspirations like right next to me. It was such a blast having that to help inspire me to reference what I like about character designs and how I can use that to excel the characters that I am drawing right now. So this is how the character design turned out compared to the other one, and I'm so happy that I redrew them to see how they changed. And it's just, the difference is night and day in quality, in the pose, and everything. Honestly, like the shape language feels so much clearer to understand, and even the silhouettes feel a lot better to understand, where you're able to see the actual full figure of the character with her arm here. It really allows you to see that it is a person, you know. And I feel like the bird is really clear. I think the feather that I did on the head over here was a little bit of a weird shape, but the one that I did here really shows that it is a bird, and I feel like it communicates it a lot better. And I'm just overall so much happier with how this design turned out compared to the other one. It's just so much easier to read, and it's such a more interesting design than the previous one that I had, and this one just feels more personalized in the direction that I want to go, and also more unique, because you see this one and a lot of the clothing designs are seen like in real life, and I really want mine to have a distinct design. And I feel like changing the boots really helped with that, because this design just had normal boots, and it's like, thinking about it now, it doesn't really make sense, because if part of her actual biology is wolf, then it would make sense if she had like wolf paws. So I changed it over here so that the shoes form to her wolf feet, and I think it looks so amazing. And I'm so happy with the shape language that I was able to use here, that there are some triangular shapes and there's an overall pretty dynamic shape language, but also there's a lot of circles and a lot of flowing motions that flow nicely into each actual part of the design, and I'm very happy with it. And yeah, I'm very happy with how this design turned out, like actually, and I'm so excited to continue polishing it more and rendering it more. And so that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm going to fix up this design a little bit more, I'm gonna render it a little bit more, and then I'll come back to you guys with a more finished character sheet. I really enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting. Don't forget to check out my commissions if you're interested. Simply email me at cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com about any ideas you want me to draw. Also, this video was done a little differently from my previous videos, so if you found it fun and better to watch than my last video, definitely let me know in the comments below. All the music and artists will be found with links in the description below. I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm not a professional character designer, and I'm still learning things as I go. This video is just a documentation of what I learned, and if it helps you guys, then that's awesome. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting. See you in the next one.